All right. Shalom. Okay, it's your brother Yvonne. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Baruch HaKodash. I want to give double honors to apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. I want to say shalom to all the brothers, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your house. Just got done watching Apostle Tahar's video, one of his videos. I'm sure it's not the most recent one. I'm just on the job, got the lessons playing. My mind and the spirit. But he was responding to a training video, the fighter Israel Adesanya in the UFC. He's a world-class fighter. And being the world-class fighter that he is, he was doing his conditioning with a man named David Goggins, who's I believe he's an ex-Navy SEAL. Now, this guy is at the pinnacle of being in shape, okay? And just like with anything, there's levels to everything, right? You got somebody that could be, at a world-class level in any particular craft. But then there's certain people within that craft that the spirit has to be with you to go past that, that level of being world-class and to the upper echelon Hall of Fame kind of, guy in whatever craft. The spirit has to be with that man to do it at that level. Just like with the prophets, you have a bunch of guys who know they're Israelites and can give you every precept in the book. All right? But in order to go into prophecy and break it down with surety, the spirit has to be with the man to do that. The spirit of Yahushua has to be on the man to do that. All right? But nonetheless, the guy David Goggins in the video, he made a quote that Apostle Tahar highlighted. And I'm basically just, responding to that quote that the guy David Goggins made. He made a statement. He says, a lot of guys, they think what I do is easy. And they come over here and they get humble real quick. He said, you see, when your world, this is what he said. He said, you see, when your world ends, that's when my world begins. Basically going into the fact, when somebody's at their wit's end, he's just getting started. And we're going to put that in the spirit. Esau's going to, run himself rampant trying to get this NWO established. And even just before he gets to so-called enjoy it, the Lord's going to flip the table over on his ass. And when his world ends, that's when our world begins. And of course, that makes you think of what? 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, where Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. A lot of people, they get so caught up in the terror of the Lord that we push out, because we're commanded to do that, through the terror of the Lord, we persuade men. But they forget to understand that after the destruction of this world, this kingdom, not the earth itself, the scriptures say the earth abideth forever. But after the destruction of this kingdom, what happens? New heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. A righteous government being established by the family of the heavens, which are the Israelites. And not just, the elect of the family of the heavens. Those people who the spirit is upon, the spirit of Yahushua. Okay? The Lord is going to form new heavens and a new earth. You go to Isaiah 65 and 17. He says, behold, and I'm paraphrasing right now, but he says, behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered. Okay? People aren't going to be thinking about this place. This is going to be an old wives' tale in the kingdom. Which is why it's such a foolish thing to be overly invested in it. Yeah, you might have endeavors and things that you do here, but it's always last fiddle to the real mission. This place isn't going to be remembered. Again, if you're looking for what I just quoted, it's in Isaiah 65 and 17. And then, of course, you go to 2 Peter 3 and 13, It says, we seek new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. Because prior to that, verse 11 and 12, it talks about this place being dissolved, this world being dissolved, okay? This kingdom, this age passing away. There's three words for the word world in the scriptures for those who are new and might not know, okay? Because the Bible was written in Hebrew in the Old Testament, Greek in the New Testament, okay? And for instance, the word world in John 3 and 16, the precept that most people know, even if they don't believe, that word for world there in the Greek is cosmos, which is a specific arrangement or ornament of people, not the whole inhabited world. It's in a narrow sense. So like you have the music world or the sports world, the art world, you understand? And then you have the word oikomene, which is the whole inhabited world. That's what people think is in John 3 and 16. The word oikomene is not there. Okay? The third word that you have for the word world in the scriptures would be aeon, which is an age or dominion or rulership, period in time. Okay? So the scriptures talk about this age passing away and there being an everlasting age, which is going to be the dominion of the nation of Israel. You go to Revelation 21, verses 1 through 5, it talks about New Jerusalem coming down out of the chariots after the destruction of this place via World War III, and of course the Lord getting busy on this place with the chariots, with the fleets of the heavens. Okay? So again, going back to that quote that the guy David Goggins made, when this man's world ends, our world begins. Makes me think of the question, and I've been bringing this up often lately because I thought it was such a beautiful question. One of the elders in Chicago posed the question to a guy that came up to their camp, and he looked like a Mormon or a Seventh-day Adventist guy. He had the white T-shirt on and a tie, had a name plate that said Elder something. So the guy walks by, and the Chicago brother says, "Oh, so you believe in the Bible?" The guy says, "Oh yeah." So the elder says, "Well, do you want the Lord to come back with fire tonight?" And the guy was drawn back. He froze up a little bit because most of the people that say they believe in this book, one, they don't know the prophecies. They don't know how the kingdom of heaven is going to be established. They don't know the process in which that happens. And really, they're in love with this place. They got things that they want to accomplish and do here. You understand? When the elect and the true believers, they're going to be longing for that new heavens and a new earth. They don't have FOMO. FOMO being the fear of missing out. They don't have FOMO in regards to this place. They're not invested into this place to where they feel like they're missing out on something if the Lord was to come back tonight. They actually want that. It's an emphatic yes. Yes, I want the Lord to come back tonight. I wanted him to come back yesterday. It's kind of sad he didn't, The scriptures talk about those who seek to save their lives shall lose it. Okay? So, again, I thought that was such a beautiful quote that the guy David Goggins made. Clearly he's not a spiritual man as we are, but spiritual man, we can see spiritual things in everything around us. Even in our day-to-day, the Lord might put the spirit on a stranger to say something to you, and the stranger just think they're just talking, but you know that the Lord put the spirit on them to spark a thought in your head, to bring a concept to mind for you to, to build yourself or to build others up, So, I heard Apostle Hart, he watched that video and heard the quote from the guy. He mentioned it in passing because, Apostle Hart, you really could break his videos up into like a series of lessons because he's going to mention so many different topics. The man's a walking library. So he's going to mention so many different topics. You really could break his lessons up into, different chapters if you really wanted to. But he mentioned the quote the guy made, and the Lord had that happen so I could hear it and make this lesson here. Again, man, your investment portfolio is in the things of heaven, not the things of the earth, okay? We're not of this earth. Leave the things beneath to the people that are of the beneath. Okay? We're from above. Act like it. Think like it. Give your time to that. So Abaratazah, man, the lesson was edifying, hopefully, to someone. I want to give all praises once more too. Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah HaKodash. I want to get double honest to apostles and the elders, of great millstone. I want to say shalom to all the brothers, and of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. And right now, may the blessing of election be upon your houses. Shalom.